wo gbomoni je ne gbone no ba ka ke ni e gbomoni
Ablade abina sumoya ablade TV no mimba ode manye mini oboda itogba shone nke Rosemary kokko anyigba ka Joshua atari adom nyenu Joseph amate kwe ye bi ene ni wombo gbe no kenje la Mantse patamli yene ni hena no me baba o ke la mambi abakpe gidi ni ababa wo la ma fe chegbe ni Dr. Kpobi Tsuru ni jete la kuche pa nyon ka no bi fe ye bi ene beble o bemle ni nka bo chomo family ne matenshi ni wo kwa boni la clan na kucho bi e momo ame ni ame yi ogbe ke ba bi ene ne
no fe no eja agbene o fe o ba shike ya wonye me ba chukwa me ojogba ameba chukwa me ojogba be nye me nklana bi ona ngbe ko te me yo ngbe ko te me yo ngbe jani me yo ngba shi me yo ngbe na de me yo ngbe ku to ko me yo la men chele no ko amno ne be klana bi ona ya me mba na me ba fa ye gbeye ye bi ene ko na no damo shi ojogba ba gbe shi aboy o shebo wonya mese amli na wo yo ye kojo sardine bla na ba gwaji ame aba chuko ame ho yu ke ya la mamli ka gbe na shi ye kwejo na Mantse we Mantse chie ni jo chame choe ni wona shuo ni adowa son ite ni gakuche fe amlimbieba minna akamaje Mantse ni ayikan lo na amrone engala maja chemeye awa me ba de fefel ni abola nyebe ni akamaje nse ni abola ba Gamashima dia chemen ga onupai ameba na efefel ye ni abola sebe otublo Mantse afi baba we acting traditional council president ni dodu nsaki leona asafo ache ni mankata won ye biene ameye wonche baba o benu abi hu ajegba abojogba ni Kim Professor ni odaifio welenchi nidi nunwa fe che eke he wonche baba o majiache me bibi ke wujin ke ye ke hin mina na amanye hu yemlin do jake abajojogba ni abanabakwe ni laise amrone nunwa manche elegi Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs Vice President afiko me amline hu esen no eta no jinoni nila tano ake Vice President of the Regional House of Chiefs ni nomli adamanche niji nene Abraham Kabuaku ji president ni kejije no pa no shukun nila adi enche ebafe Regional House of Chiefs president ejake leke no jake na akwa they became the oldest Regional House of Chiefs e wo be wonyeme no nwame ona nyemo sumo na esha me no ni wonji ame ko kenchon ame nga majiache me fe ni yo biene osukuchi efe awonya abake
Bejiano tona ke to Mantse na ko ekodan eja ke keje bi na fo mi eko bakodan ewo masumo ake mama na kusum femo ke yala femo boni eyo ha ewo ni ebale ake atobe eke imane mi ba fe ekomi ewo ke bia boni se ma ba koni mama ko yala
wo me tomo 2 years nke nga for yala ne ni wonye woya wo mebe na ba fe shimene wona ke is worth the wait
jo be wonchon majiache me amling ni moni hio chame choe di lama o chame je matiabo na se ke oshinle be klana akuchoche ni ko ti amli ame ke wo for ni ya wo na ke fi true mo ne shi wo for coming je mo ko ba ke bu je ni ko ti amli se be minna la kwashonche ni ya mudin eje ya mowi ye election ye akwashonche maseye be minna no jake la mankralu niji be ni oboda dai wona ke IC kwemba wo oba chano shraw shinwo kwe ni alo wula IC kwemlimba bemli ne nga cheme amrone eshishije bi ene nijila ni yekusun na eba ni ba kwe Mantse ise ora IC kwe wona jo eke wache Solomon ko te ni kwe nye la MCE nya wacha wo nibiano domni wo she la mankralo no if I ni numu ebu je hwe mo rojo gba ni oboda dai kumagan wulomo wo majiache me wulomo ehun ni ewo ni oboda dai le je kumagan wulomo ano obi a wulomo minna be jobu wulomo hu
and for having granted him long life. Nothing now remains.
Jobu lomo niji chikiteli ni aje ko fe onamro ne ke washi ni aje ko fe no be wona laja seche niji Major General retired ni anum odotei e kwa wolo e niji be booklet ni yo ni la here jelese minna no jake kwe akuchoche niji Professor Ablade Glover legi na agbemo amno minji NDC onupa FN ni ba shebi ene apokenchonbo ni nyeme ko meje me FN agbe inle mina oro boda niji la constituency chairman e mase be wocho onupa ko me shiye lenwe mase be former MP ke hala niji ola Sylvester Mensa nomie le Ibafe National Health Insurance Authority onupa e bi eneko jelese be NDC bia 2020 elections na afie money fe running mate ke ha ola John Dramani Mahama una tajeme yo nupa nilelo niji Professor Jena no poko ajiman itawo che niji John Dramani Mahama nini abeku be agbene olomo abo mafo park ebuo wo che ni wo edin le eji NDC party flag bearer if you were man former president keho wale etena wache ba kwe no jake ni la ise ke he won che ife ta ke rio jelese be wala awo ni wo hwe hi miun awo ni hwe hi awo papa Rita no dole so ona e hwe la e bio jelese be general NDC general Niji wache Johnson asiedu nketia achola ake General Mosquito menili lele obe NDC onupa me ko me holo se ni ke wache ni wachi ametan hin ye mienche nche e ho se poshimi nale ora pa ni lante Vanda Boy wo hwe bibio ne ke vampi eba ni ibeba kwe ni ise wo ke iradon be wona former chief of staff niji wache Julius Debra muye jeme eko ke agbene be osu MP niji wonye Zaneto Ajiman Rollins ke member ba o Nojake beshe ni ebi ni wo born tributes ahenu na mokrede ji ni la te ehegbeme lele haten meni ameke ba kaya me eneme oba na wole keje tribute amling ni oba jenshike e biography ni chomle ake aba chon choni wole hene daye school ne te ahun ke ba shi ngleno ni nojake shi ba she ake la Mantse Dani ekefe nu ncho no ne
ni doctor Kpobi Tettey ni diete la Mantse ke Mantse nuka ye la traditional councilor e wala hesane ni wekue e manne ni doctor Kpobi Tettey ni diete ni chucha adelake oula eleza ni osakobi afole ye Anton biso ni ji nyonwe teke komi enu ye afia pe komi ohai ne hu nyonwe enyo ke ne hu enu ye la ne echata ni fole ji owula dudu odoe Kpobi ni afole chemo ake papa kwaku odoe ni je Kpobi kwe lumosisi ke mami owula nga Christiana anyeto Kpobi ni le hu alele ye wekumi ke sonra ate ake manfio akwa ni je ni na ashamawe abese akuchuemi ye la ne amefe ametomo amese amehawo ni Kpobi Tettey ni ji 18 ji ni Kpobi Tettey ni ji enyo enabituntu ni Kpobi Tettey ni di enyo ne eye Mantse yela ye afi akpekome o hai panyo mo pa wo ke pa wo emi ke afi akpekome o hai ne hu emi ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru ake afola wo presby asafo nie loji ejaye la bete asafo person asafo lemi keni e papa hu jaye ni asa awole asafo nupa ni asolele asafo emi ni awajele hu ya asafo emi fese le hu isomo ake asafo nupa ye asafo emi keye eche atase ake eche ni fole choro ni hewo ebomode ake ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru aya school o ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru te Presbyterian school se ni enye ye la Haymounts no se e achano ye Presbyterian boys school ni di preseke ye oduma se kobo ni agbele akeba legon lodi e acha a secondary school no ejemi beni egbena e afieje ni kasemoko ni ena Cambridge school certificate ke London matriculation ye afi apekome o ha enehu ke nyumo enumo na agbe mai beni Asian school se ena ni chimo ye audit department ni ngene achole audit service ni ake ni ahela ake second division clerk beni aje national lotteries sisien lodi ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru ni di ete afale kete customs ni de nichimo he kosisi ye jame ake sikahe accountable ni eto sikahe bediano fe pepe ye jame ni kapreko akala di yewo ibene yo national lottery se lo nomino ni ake nichimo ni football post authority nichimo hu fateri ineke kui enyo na efe aminji si akobemi lo ya le kobemi ake ehine wake nichimo hewo bediano to ni atofe na ke wole o ma no eto mi fe bebe ni eto director of national lotteries ye esnemi awole manje ni bata da sen no ye afi apekomi o ha ne hu mo me pa nyu ke pa mi ye abebi ni nyu me ten ni ehemi abani leji manje kren ni yourself ye Greater Accra Regional Associated ni ehi committee sorte ami ni eji kren traditional ruler ni self ye Greater Accra Regional Land Commission ni beni ajeshin esa esomo ye National House of Chiefs beni anake enitumosa ahala paramancy ni lodi eye kwala meba wa juba ni sake meneni woka ori Kpobi Tettey Tsuru ne wokeshida ahanyo agbene esake wakaye ake beni awoni Tettey Tsuru ni die tene ya fi apekome o ha ene ohun mo pa anyo ke pa anyo mi e lomi e wo palace ni wo yo ne lomi e efite jogba ni wo echeshi aji hemi ye Haymounts di hemi akoye no se ame fa kete trefe si ye hemi ana aketa ni saka se di ye ake ekeme papa intuni ame wala ni mene wala la transition cancer fefo ni mene etomoto ni wala be mi ni kamri ni agbene hu e ya you know wala la community clinic ye la mansamo pe ni wala radio station ni la tenu hu ye la yo isake waje nyomo ke jomo ni nyomo ke jowo ye ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru wala sinemi agbele ye no inono wala la Presbyterian Senior High School ni beke bi fe ni ya jebe amena hisere wa ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru ye wala sinemi lodi ekai ha oko ekai ha man ye egbefa ke pepe fe ni enabika ha weko beni ni Kpobi Tettey Tsuru ese mowe lodi ebote machine simidi aja aton kashi afia Kpobi ohai ne ho ke no me pa wo ani beni eke awla fefako ni achole awla Doris na da kwa ni kwa achole dodo e ni amlo ne Kpobi e ya pe ajo ame brasine no ye Richard ye Ghanaian ni kajen no se loti Auntie Doris no na da kwa toto wuluko ohani la ni de wale ye no fe momi ke ba shi mene o from no bi ni di eteno ye afia kwenyo enyo na kene hu emi achena ye 37 hilatamo here ni ke ba shi lady ye o from no the angel the minata wedi pawo de hori nyoma plate nyoma bebe ye afia kwenyo ke nyoma ke ne hu emri todi nyomo chede ake nila ete himeji abo nila ete himeji abo nila ete himeji abo fane mi esibi Eric ni Tettey Kpobi Kpobi enyo ni ewawe no kayo oji towuluko eko ni bufo ko ka kasi ni wochi ekomo wo fole si wo fo ake meni be heno kamo si wo fo ake wo kaile ye ni tumo kure ni wa tuhi wo tule wo nyomo be ni yawo duba kashi wo be
by widow, Mrs. Doris Kpobi. I was fresh out from school and working at the ministries, Accra, when I first met Niosa, as he was affectionately called by them, during one of my regular lunch dates with the late Mrs. Dora, who introduced him to me. He was then also working in the audit service at the ministries, and soon became a familiar face when our lunch breaks were our friendly conversations centered on sharing ideas and plans for the future. In one of those conversations, he advised me to further my education if I got the opportunity, and informed me he planned on doing same. Not long afterwards, I was employed by the Ghana Cocoa Board in 1960, and, with his counsel in mind, took advantage of many on-the-job training courses in personal management offered at Gimpa Greenhill to further my career. We kept in touch, even though I no longer worked in the ministries. And it soon became obvious that this gentleman was interested in doing more than just giving me counsel. His attention never waned nor wavered from the moment we met until the time he asked for my hand in marriage. I agreed, and we got married in 1970. Niosa was a dedicated family man and a devoted Presbyterian. He never missed morning devotion, which we held regularly in our living room each morning without fail. As a result of these devotions, I learned a lot of his Presbyterian Ga hymns, as he also did the Methodist hymns. After a while, we relocated from the family house in La to his home in Mantse. But it was not long before he was installed in 1988 as the paramount chief of La, and decided to move the family back to La. Life as we knew it changed in an instant, but we lived through it with God's grace. His tasks, both as traditional ruler and head of the national lotteries, were numerous and very demanding, but he performed them diligently and to the best of his ability, honoring as many invitations as was humanly possible. He remained humble despite his position and achievements, and kept his doors open to all, regularly welcoming visitors with, "Peace be unto you, after which he would ask that a short prayer be said, and then begin the conversation with the words, "Please, this is your home," and treating everyone who stepped through his doors to feel at ease. He never missed a birthday of mine, and would always present me with a neatly addressed birthday card, which almost always began with the words, "To my lovely wife." I particularly enjoyed our conversations which took place during lunch on Sundays, which was the only time he usually had to relax and enjoy quality time with family. He was very astute with his finances and was my go-to person for investment advice. He was very active in the Ridge Church, both as a member and patron of several church groups, and hardly missed church services, even when old age and illness weakened him. I am grateful to have enjoyed almost 50 years of marriage with him, and I'm consoled by the knowledge that he served his Lord faithfully and has been called to rest from his labors. He leaves behind me our 3 children, grandchildren, his entire family, and countless friends to mourn him. This isn't goodbye, it's a see you later. Niosa, Yawajuba. Amen.
Amen.
To my late father, Dr. Kpobi Tsuru Tettey, affectionately known in private life as Mr. Kpobi. My father and I had a unique relationship. He loves me more than anything in this world. My father told me how thrilled he was when I was born. And so he was genuinely invested and committed to my happiness and well-being at all times. He was too good a father, and I was faithful and a very submissive child of his. And I look exactly like him, and so he educated me at his alma mater, Udumase Presec, now Legon Presec. As the only child and as a man, my identity was undeniably influenced by the presence of my father. My father did not wear his hat on his sleeve. He was very hard and tough, authoritative and quick, quite strict. At least that's what I thought. I struggled with my father's tutelage growing up, but long after, when I started making babies of my own, I understood why my father was so tough and hard. I honor him by holding on to his principle of honesty and humility, and by making it real in my own life. Me, Dr. Kpobi Tsuru, also known as Kpobi, defined my life and touched the life of countless others. I thank the Almighty God for his life. And on this note, I'd like you all to help me to sing one of his favorite hymns, which is Cristo Asafo Papai. Cristo Asafo Bidio Kai Otri Fatutugo Kege Lomre Foao Kegi Oimrimpo Ke Oi Apo Matrisi Etetutu Ke niño moyo
very much. The late Dr. Kpobi Tsuru III, as we affectionately called him at the Traditional Council, was the 6th La Mantse in the 20th century, whose reign continued into the 21st century. He became the president of the La Traditional Council when the paramount status of the La Traditional area was restored and inaugurated on Wednesday, 12 June 2013. He was a strong-willed person, therefore had to bend on his principles and convictions. Most people considered him an enigma due to this attribute of his, therefore found them difficult to understand. But those of us who worked closely with him knew that no matter how strange his actions and decisions were, he had reasons for them. And most often, when he was contacted in private, he would explain the basis of his actions and decisions to one's understanding. He was also a deep and meticulous person who carefully scrutinized issues and documents before taking a decision. He believed in equity and fairness, and that manifested in his reactions to unfair treatment, even at public gatherings and events. He was light-hearted and created scenes of excitement during gatherings and functions. One memorable usual act of faith was his unique mode of entry to Omowo rites by waving his customary hat and doing the Omowo festival dance, Pashimo, in a special way to excite the crowd. Though he was very modest and humble, he was a disciplinarian and a blunt person who never minced words to put across his views and thoughts. Due to his experience as a distinguished public servant, he ran the council formally by setting up a secretariat with requisite staff to manage. He was time conscious, hence punctual at meetings and functions. He also conducted council meetings in an orderly and professional manner. He was one of the prominent paramount chiefs in the public space because La was one of the few peaceful and stable Kadangbe states during the early part of his reign, and also because he religiously honored invitations to public and private functions. Though there was an impasse in La in about a decade into his reign, which led to the split of the town and the near dismemberment of him, the situation did not degenerate, and the feuding parties got together to reconcile after about a decade of the impasse. La has been stable after the reconciliation in 2006, with me having a cordial working relationship with his council members till his demise. The state of La experienced immense progress during his reign. The name of the La state was changed from Labadi to La to reflect its original name. La was elevated to a municipal status. The La Mansabope Clinic and a community radio station were established in La. The local economy grew with the establishment of lots of businesses, including most of the top-rated hotels in Ghana. The progress experienced led to the growth in real estate activities in La, which has arguably made La land the most sought after, and the La traditional area the most preferred place to live and do business. Ni had education at heart, and therefore assisted most natives of La to gain admission to second cycle and tertiary institutions, notably the University of Ghana, to further their education. He was an active person, and his demeanor, good sense of humor, and dedication to duty endeared him to many. Though advanced in age, he worked to the end of his reign, even when his health was failing and he could not make it to the council to work. He worked from home and invited the needed council members to address issues when necessary. Though we knew his health was failing, we never expected him to depart to the village of his ancestors at the time he did. And his departure, therefore, came as a great shock to us, since we were not prepared for it. He will go down in the history of La as one of the longest reigning paramount chiefs of the La traditional area, and one of the very few who departed to the village of his ancestors whilst on the throne. It was a fascinating experience for us to have worked with me, Dr. Kpobi Tsuru III. We shall profoundly miss Ni, and we will use our experience of working with him to shape the future of chieftaincy in La state and beyond. Fare thee well, Ni. May your light-hearted soul rest in peace till we meet again. Ni Yawo Jobang.
Yo be watch John Dramani Mamo na lewe aha a speech.
Acknowledge the La Traditional Council members and all our traditional rulers gathered here today. You see us here in our numbers. It is to pay tribute to a man of decency, grace, and dignity. I have two reasons to be here. One, I'm a resident of La Kpobi. And two, as a former president of the Republic of Ghana, I had the opportunity to work closely with Kpobi Tsuru. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of the party of which I'm a member, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, I wish to extend our warmest condolences and sincerest condolences to the widow of Nila and to all the people of the La traditional area. Indeed, I worked with Kpobi Tsuru from the time that I was a deputy minister of communications. That is from 1997. He had been installed the paramount chief of the La traditional area as far back as 1988. And his life has transcended the revolutionary period and all the presidents who have led this country since the advent of the Fourth Republic. And so all of us have had the opportunity of experiencing Nila. He graciously responded anytime we invited him to any ceremonies. And he was the person of choice that we always look for, because he had a certain grace and dignity when you either called him to light the perpetual flame or to lay a wreath. His walking step by step showed that this was really a chief, this was a king. And so on this occasion, he has served his people and he deserves the respect of our nation. The last time I saw him was just before the 2020 elections. And even though he didn't look very well, when he heard that I was coming to call on the Traditional Council, he did everything he could to join them to receive me. And I appreciated that very much. And so on behalf of the NDC and myself, we wish to say farewell to Nila, and we pray that the peace that he brought to the La traditional area would continue to survive. I remember before he became the paramount chief, there were a lot of skirmishes and quarrels between the families in La. After he ascended the throne, all those little squabbles and quarrels came to an end. And we hope that his legacy of peace will be maintained by whoever is installed to replace him. And so may God grant his gentle soul eternal rest. Thank you very much. God bless
you. 300 million Ghana cedis, you will play Mashikami. The one year, whiskey toy enyo, Castle Bridge toy enyo, ni tele, neke scantione. Ye no se huwe, one chok beneno no wake big beake, beke wo tuni ne wakbina, wo manye nyelo, President John Dramani Mahama, basumoni ebigbe. Ni tume kokrume ni kan ehie sanene nenyeni eatu egbina wo cheme kenyeme lumoenke ogai yeme fe wawemo enagbene yewadon
yo be watch John Dramani Mahama amrone eyanga cheme Dani Ebi Beneya Wana Mami Jena no Pokwa Jiman Prof Ke Johnson Asiedun Ketia General Secretary ke NDC Vampi Nilante Vanda Poy Ododio Member of Parliament Many Babemlinchiwa high-powered delegation from the National Democratic Congress. So they are presenting the gift they brought to the traditional council and to the people of La. 30,000 Ghana cedis and other items. Ewa ona bonia tu nibi ekeha nojake la mang. Bimling ni NDC party ha makpo ake noko. Shikamling chimo eaje nojake ni akwa Sean Cheding. NDC bi baba o nya amonu kwa he bi eni shemo. So that's the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Hey, Justin.
Nyabanda mi ebiene ininde kome eku leje ni Dr. Kpobi Tettey ni yane esmo lalako masmo ni nakalala nke wolegbe the money for lala ne ajole Reverend Dr. Mantse makwe anyemi o tui mi ye ka hamo ka pi mo pi tui lachi Somo anyemi kaji jela akwa opo kaji weku asi opo woye no pamonyongo la ebu ohiko tole kahoye Ebeneza Numu esiwo ete imeji abomi sinonu wo ko ji ake nye ka ya wo yo wo enelo ka wo gbese wo ba teje ko ni ka wo nye dumi Kristo laji wola ni ya wo jogba
Coastal Charismatic Council 500 Ghana cedis Global Evangelical Church Southla 500 Ghana cedis Nikwe Chewela 200 Ghana cedis Municipal Chief Imam 200,000 Ghana cedis. Okojo Mantse 1,000 Ghana cedis. Ghana National Fire Service 2,000 Ghana cedis. Ni ama ole nuwe.
I'm not a watch your bank be Ghana Traditional Council no onupai. Watch a man America Nila Kunio Jobafi Babao Podani Agbene Lava Fe Paramouncy ni Agbene Batamoina no Ojoba. Ewo Yametia Wake Be Nido Dun Saki Bana Sanigba ni Afiabo. He was the acting president of the Ghana Traditional Council. Leno to blow Mantse. You find one body manye.
Manye bamba jo yo den.
Find Romo.
Yala no oba. Can fe odo gamana. Wo yala we fe fan.
Nye twa ka ne Kenya men hi ohie ha. Ni nye ba na efe fel. Shima bia ke no kele tuni afia bo. Many no come ne ke okayo ye ehe bemlin nye Kenya ishra.
Ni kele tuni na gaji ebe shuwa. Shineba ina Mantse mi pi se no le solo. Iwo ojo ofo kase loko emi. Iwo ya wo jogba.
Tinche ko me won ye bi ene. Inche Edward Ashon. Ye man say she be bien kele na ashon amojo ba fi baba o ne Facebook. Watch e o ba ken.
Okay.
Tona ni fe mo ate.
Okay, very organized. Ni ke wo bo awo ina as Ghana dan we say why you fe ni be better fe neken.
E ko kwe is inye yo no kwe kome ye bi ene ni nkele ba na sanigba shraw. Nye be bi edamo dra ojogba ni je hwe machine. Boni ni fe mo te le wona hegbe ni nkele agba sande. Je cherry mo.
Me sane.
Mina keshi nyenkwani nyani ano se chi ojogba ka na nyepe ana keshi ni mankralo se bi no ojogba te onani yaro ate
oni yala efe forwa imbole meje he ni wo bole nakan wo wonder television ake ngani no fi anu ye mu yawo ni wa na ho bi nwe bi anasa no office febe no office yen oh ni mbale bi ne be ni wo yin se ni wo nla wala la e ye fojogba
na jelala o fa show mo e komi o ha mi makwe wonye mo fi o e ba show geda no ba shi bi e de
abajo se ye abajafo so yenko ya kwasa so woya menso ade o wonya blado
o gbe ngone ke aye ko ni ka ala achion soja tan yemlin na kan lala e country no jogba o fa ina masmo no la ne ke no ne ami ni makase
ko yin pa si o fa ne
mi na ke wonye he ne high lawyer ye bi ene aba alo ke yan fo esi ni mba lala ne country no oboto ebolo ni ole ne kan no obi alala ni ka ala onu soja gbe yemlin masmo ni ke fi e o la ke ye bu ami amone machima benke inye yo onukwa ekomi ye bi ehraw ni wona sanegba
efe ma ka me ifa wa ewo be ko na eko pete bo ba pete de ko cho ye be no ba ko se ona gbe no ba ta shidon ewo ete no bonisa so won bia ke wo se ko ka le no loko ne kan aba be ato gbeja no eko nke fita eko na gbe ne efe grand e amofia mo
fon ira don fon gbe
o fa na cho me dede adi
wonye o fon ira don o fa no ke o class o ha wo fe o
be boni nye na le bi ene eji achi abana akpa akwa ise ojogba keji obaje no hishi ojogba na ka no nji boni akwa ose lehun ese efe o no he wo ba sole ni wo ba mo fi amo hu ake wo kase ni nkeje eshile mi acho mi na oboshi
be nyen yo no na le no na ni le no nyen yo ni na ken ya le o fa ne bo won gbe
acho mi na atoshi
yo na atoshi be nyen kwen ka agbe na le no be nbi jile ja ke mi oboda jimi boyo ne chimbenke inyemme ye onupai ni nojake shi amehwe wo ikra ya Bloody TV no ni bemli na amehwe wo here wo hwe amehi madam ajele bole ona ko sekre we bi ne ye ngati abunase wo nyeminupa ajele bole ebe eye Mantse ye United States ni yo ne nyemi fio ni ji nyemi yo ajeka ata ehie kai ba gbasa ne shraw ameba na efe otenye na ni yara ya hate
kenklen wakashida baanye ajake woye Mantse ni wonna boni nye cover le up to date kaja shishije no fe no nye cover fe beja me wonna wo information wonna ko me kaja he ko me shi wo he onye wo yo ne woni wonna nye no anokwa AFL ni e ka wo ba yala nye fe nye bomodeng I na afekweekudan history ni anyo afioni she coverage jinoni her story and you have really done a good job Rafo back I'm blushing
oyi ojogba na efe fel e wo ko shibie na okukebo pe onye yo ngba oje minute no mi no ba ke mo in 30 seconds
in 30 seconds e make kuku ni egbomoni baby anna mokohese na mo jogbo loji wo mistake
kekokode ne gbo na na
kekokode ne gbo na no ekele score ye papa no ba fe ha moko be mi na yo wala mi fe mo hale ni e ka waya jogba Tettey fa wa mami gbo ni e ba airport ton be ni wo ji opo ka wo bi aka na ni la entourage e wo ton ka Tettey ma
that personal relationship
yes keba America abato wo e wonye na afuni ni matashi e wonye gba ke mbatoshi kenken na ne ba bi e befo e wo gbomoni je ne gbone no ba ka ke ni e gbomoni
ofo ira don yo jogba kembo ko njie moko yi alo ye moko yo da se ne ke mene gbomoni e jue mo ni mlinchi ojogba egbe no na enyen yo ye eyin no ja ka shi wonyen yo ajeka blofo ba ke she is camera shy she wadaru ma ngene ke wo ba yue ye pan no wonyen yo o ba ke
minako
ba ke yo oira do be won ya no minake o front seat no fe no ni ya no misi no kono
Gabikra
that was twingbe to na ni fe mo ate
not enough fine me no need country no G sanitation and I'm impressed boni noko kashino abako I mean very impressed la a showcase noko pakpawa denche and I hope kagbe no fiano na it will continue because it's necessary ake wa fe fale mami fe che mo fia mo he feel and then the commitment and patriotism wonderful la
felt
quite a show and then when the coverage was wonderful. Makakeshi Nebo Moding La Traditional Council Wabaha me thumbs up. Now me continue. Now me honey mami achenekeno a cafe 9-day wonder. Agbene who come banye, I me momo many letter. I make cafe to ni yala wo asa mami she should continue. Follow here. Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Akake la man fefel ni fale ne no wie ne kaji lele wo ba ye wo gbe ano baby na na ke mamlin efi fale o fon yo jogba o irado
drase e ke kweye o ko ka kwete e ja ke drase ke kweye batola no hani obana ke eni water astroloko ne mene gbine ni jumo wulu tamoneke ni rehwehe eja ke kwe boni shile ne ke ni layo ke ni jumo ni achu ni akesheshon ni neke biami ni la cho ese anokwa eha enye wie kra we ke ndomo enajia ni ngoshida iha menfe ke gamefe ke da gan adangbe bi fe
oba mrone washe klana be ko temeke ko temeke na de meke nyeme ko kome kuto kome ni kwe meke me neshe be nye ni meke nye na meke nye nyeme nke chebe nke nyawo me ni ona mrone ni mina kanye jigbanye bojuba
no kwale sani woteye wo kono waba o ni la yenyang
jinshi keje shian wote kujo sadi ngbe amlie na yo ewo na kenye ya flanga ko aflanga ne many okadi yo mli
okadi sroto eten yo mi kenklen obana yicho ni kote amli emo emi obana gbe ni kote amli eyeche agbonobana ni ekena ne ma onu fumuno ni bi okadi etene jino ni yo afranga emi
ni iradon ye beni sabni oba chuo benke bojogba no bote klana yino sanji amling ojogba shi ke chone no wakase no ko ken ni asafo ache mina ke no mli onye me ke obi ahie ojogba to da ni yaro ateni
ni oba wana ke yala kanshi ojogba gbejan no to fe na to ano ojogba
wo bote be klana abala eshishi ni wo ke nyeme enyo ko agbasani ni wo mu wo ka mesani gba na ni ko ko emli be ona teshi gbogban anewe manye ikela fio yara no ojogba mene mi na ke shi wo fo no ko kan eku eno ma bia ke ti ayila ante ni mene le klana na manye won body manye
o manye Tsuru abra wo fe
o ni mene ti ayila ante ni klana ni nkan ko ene ke no ya mete
won yedo wa ni ko ba ko na je ni esisian ye hefia e ja ke gan dangbe wo fe gbomo ko meji wo no mene o na ke gan dangbe bi wo yedo wa je la pe na me yedo wo fe wo yedo ni wo pa wo papa yala hu ojupa
o iradon be ye ko no tuntun wo wonye yo no kwa ka ofa ne ayeme ni ame camera shy e wo bo enu onshi amachima benke wo nye ekome ye bia na manye mi body manye wo pe hfo te ona ni yaro haten
yala efe kokro wona ko ekodan yala chi do na kelelen nango woji gandangbe ni woji gontie lele wona ka gontie emi ekun ni wo mo fia monfo ya fo na wahawo
o fo iradon o gbe ko gbe na
o fa ne achomi na abo tele olai ni jike kremo nwa sango na no ya manye wo nje nwa shi icheje klana ni ja sre jonshi de wo mene mba futu abe no ke phone
ya amli na kan na o fo iradon
iye wo ni ji sango na ni ji nwa o sokro nowe wo kala ni ene hu asre jonshi le hu wo kola ni ne won ka enyo fo chacha ke iyorumo ye je nfe
o je gba oba
mbalo jogba
kan ni wo manye mo nya me one wonda me shojogba ke ameka we na sanigba la inchele noko la kuchi efe ona be kuchi efe jimeni amrone aten ame ye oblayin na here nino jakeshi nibi kukuema ameyiteng ni layemling abafun abese matia bonase leshi mina drase won jeme abafun ka agbawe ewo be kuche biene pawoni yo biene shi anone banyo amebo ame chomo moye kwemo ame yo ba blade inchin bank abafum akuchwe wonu kenje kuche feni yo la ne ango kuche panyo ke agbene ano ka ifata me hie be fi ne hu ano ne woche komitanko no ni iba ke wa abafun hu hyewie mo ke hani o fa na wo ba ke o gbe
o fa ne ajo mi Moses Tettey ankama wo je abafun neke gbine jigbi wulu ha láàfin ka abafun nu ofata ye ni ba fi afi etene ni bote Mantse ni ji wo fen wo láàfin che be te himeji abo mi eku ese ba don eji are o sani ke abafun ke láàfin noji no ni wo foye ahun wo so ke wanyamoji bote Mantse ni Dr. Kpobi Tettey e ba tu eni eta wo man bi efen wo aje legbe fe o ke wo wa abafun efen che na kanji no ni wole be wo he ne aba ni eswafio ni ne ke be ne ba hye wo ka je wo la Mantse gbe be wo Mantse ni je abafun efen che ni o 10 granaki the first be le wenjo egbe no eji are ho ke na gbasa ni ha abafun ni wo fo ahun shi no go be nu wo ba ke no akegbe ne gbi ne hye abafun ba ka reho ni je enyo e ba na ke akuje koko me ka me flag ka me jo yamba si abafun nye fe na ka e ja ke reho ke ya fonu ye wo yin gbe no o trash dio won join ake moko no ne te won wo fi oni o 10 granat ten won ba la weku ke na fe na me solo mi awa ame solo mo mi awa ke pian abafun ko ko ni de julo won nu pa e ko me ni fota ke wo pian lo Ibrahim jole wo se ne no abafun wo san fi o ne
ake nuku heni be shene wo ba ti wo ben ka wo nyeme ni je Mantse ni ameba amenye ni fe mo na he odase ni wo ka me anasanigba kenke Mantse ben shose bi ichon ni ona ake nko wo nyemo nu pa idamo imase icho fa na wo ba ken
yo ni to go o iradon ato ha bi ne ke hibene
wana wole ake okay ablade TV share kra ake ye Boston ton ye USA o ta je me fle no kwa ablade TV o we nwo wona na kan many shrama kan ke ni la te ni no e fambo ke ba bi ene ngene gbine
yo ni la dani awole ake Mantse domie ni le momo ni wo fe wo ye asafo ko memi ni agbene hu wo fe la menji wo ni ye blanche le mi in nu e ko me ya bi yoshi ni je ishiami ewo reha sinamo na bawamo fi tutuwe ni nage meni to gbejia no ametuni yojogba ni anan ajete si boni alemi ni nkete school ya mane mi ni meke cho mi ke ba shi meneji ni apa ajete ni nje ni lomowe ye la drase yes ewo fi oni yo ke ha to ebulo ene yeah
amona mi ti mi ben ke nche we ko me ikele pe dan ye US yeah Ohio wo pe ye alongbe
no Pennsylvania Philadelphia
no kwale ye gan omowo eko ye jeme
ano kwale
te onani yara o haten
kenkle mi daju mo se ake e ba se mene gbine ake e ba e no yo gbeye ni ebe bo ni nkele silanji ebi yo ni je sister nu pa bi na to le ye mocho okodo leji e fatalo ni niye ishanu shina nyo ni mo ke ba USA wo ngo e ba e ke wo ye fine na je ni ne nhie wo dwan ke o ni ne te ba ya lete wo shegbe because wo ye inner circle na ke fi to ogbeji ano ni wo na ke ni ne afekoeko for so many years e wo dwan ke e ba hin lo bene so fiele agbenegbe ye mo shingbe no ni wo na ke o nyonwo ye
masmo ni mada nchemea ashini di ni apa ke akocho beta
si ingbe de ncheji ni tete oko odoi si mo fi amo fo bi chama ke osisi ye na ka job
watch off fire don
Wapa fa mo fe mo awe. Facha me akra ma jamaa ya. Ni echi ma jamaa ni. Ame sija me. Ni echi ma jamaa ni. Ni echi ma jamaa ni. Wapa fa ina ame sija me. Ni echi ma jamaa ni. Ani ame sija me. Ni echi ma jamaa ni. Ani ame sija me.
I won't say she won't film what that she fair Anna, Nani, and Angelami. They want to film more outway session. More film more outway session.
Bien,
no open any open session.
Oborufoy, amen.
Number of an yawo session.
No jacket chain, ni amemba yobonu.
Number of an yawo session.
Abadeba to enagbo bonuto akelembai akenimba
akelemba bobu shiete
insamehi ao ejenshi kanila jojo ne pe ejo ekodon unale negedon be sheke wo yo ine la blade ajo ne ni lo bonuto na mo ateshi na ke wo ke bulani sa hani bebli ni ejo ina gbobonu ne o na ke shi edeka lumo chi ehe enyo ni yo odasi ake ne Mantse ne ye kusuna ka wo Mantse ejo obonu iba manja no ejo obonu ina kai no kaji Egbeshie esande ejo na agbobonu ina ko cho eye je ma cho akple ki osho nya wonyi amese no kwa no ni ba ya ablade tv no oyo amrone imanya ya nyenye fu
won segbe
ameka me segbe ye na ka ke bonyo emba niji ni mba be fe nyefu
Can I show you why?
Amemba.
bemli ni fie mo fe bana gbe ne amone osu nye me ko na ya safo ache me ko na mi amenye bleu ne ke kenje la mamlin ke yo su Abladi abi nye irado akanye ke wo eye be ne wo ke amane bo straw toy e banye benoni enwo wo na wa ke nyahe ojogba kitue wo bada wo nye nupa pajo anan alashi wo nye nupa makablo ame UK ni amlin do jake be fe be na me yo me bua wo ni wo na hegbe wo nyi ma amlin bonisa wo hie kpang wo nye minupa ebeneza ke sa pe nye nu mimbo ode manye ni agbene hue wonyemi yo nupa niji Madam Salome na opiakai kombe akotiana biyo wonye US ebeniza kesa ape wo US woke wonda meshojogba keji oba noja keshi Netherlands be owula ko owula nga adama ma yejeme woche Gerald adama ma eche ko chonde hami na shiwa ke wo memory card sen wo ke chuoni iba pomoden nehe babawo ke bakewo wo nye me ne fe taninchie ameye Ablade TV esuomo ni gbokegbe na na fe amewa wo bona fe no wonye mamli wonye ni wo fe ni bi strotoi keba ogbeno won ke ama ke shina nye me onupai nye iradon mi ni oboda itogba ashon ne nke Joshua Taria Adom ke Rosemary kokko anyigba nyenu Joseph ni amatekwe ye bie ne ye bua wo jogba ke ha wo ya ke wo ba won ka ke shinila aya wo ye hijolemlin bo modern ni o subscribe ni agbenu wo like ni o share wo content bo na fe ni mambi fe ana ni amekwe kai no kwa wo be fe bi twa no manyaba